Hi, my name is Kaylin Catron, and my presentation is on CSS Specificity. That is a tongue twister word, and it took me a while to figure it out. Specificity is the way that browsers decide which CSS property values are the most significant to an element and should be applied. Specificity is based on rules, which are composed of different sorts of CSS selectors. So CSS selectors, some of the basic selectors are as follows. There are type selectors, such as paragraph. There are class selectors, such as classes and names. There are deselectors, such as a name or whatever used for your ID. There are universal selectors that select everything on the page, and attribute selectors. How specificity is weighted. Well, specificity is a weight that is applied to a given CSS declaration, which is determined by the number of selector types. Or in English, how I understand it is, what is the selector type with the greatest importance or has the greatest priority to CSS? What if all the elements are equal and of importance? When specificity is equal to many different declarations, the last declaration in the CSS is deemed as the most important element. Specificity only applies when the same element is targeted by multiple declarations. In other words, if you have more than one element. An example of regular CSS orders. So if we use regular CSS order, we see this example here on the left. We have an example if it was CSS written out, paragraph, color, red. Then we have another order example, paragraph, color, blue. Any ideas which one it will choose? It will pick the blue because CSS normally reads from top to bottom and will apply the last command, which is blue in this situation. But we can change that using specificity. But what if we wanted red and we can't remove the blue style for some strange weird reason? All we have to do is to add the tag article or get more specific. So here you can see it says article, paragraph, and we're changing the paragraph, the entire paragraph to color red. We also again have our same old paragraph color blue. So what happened? Specificity happened. The color red will be chosen because its tag is more specific. And so thus it ends up being red. Well, what's the math of it all? It kind of sounds confusing. The rules. A selector that names one tag is like worth 1 point, you could say. A selector that names 2 tags is worth 2 points. So I bet you can guess who will win. Yep, 2 is better than 1. In case you use a class selector, just know that they are worth more than a tag. So there are different aspects we will look into later. Just know that the most one with the most points wins every single time. So are all tags, classes, IDs worth the same amount of points? Nope. Who comes up with this anyway? I have no idea. But just like grade school math, we have priorities to which number means the most. In some instances, the basic order is 1. Inline elements, 2. IDs, 3. Classes, and 4. Tags. So an inline element will trump IDs, classes, and tags. An ID will trump classes and tags. A class will trump a tag, and 2 tags will trump a single tag, if that makes any sense. So if you would like more help, I would highly recommend watching this YouTube video. There's a guy who does it and he is hilarious. He makes it actually a lot of fun to learn about this. He also has a very cool option online. He created his own CSS specificity calculator, and all you have to do is type in your information and he will or it will calculate which is of the greatest priority in there, in case it gets a little confusing. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too confusing.